Okay, more homework help. Students often ask me, how do you compute the mean of a discrete probability distribution, and by hand, and then of course on the calculator. Let's take a look at this problem. Suppose a life insurance company sells a $150,000 1-year, let me try and zoom in for you, I'll read it, 1-year term life insurance policy to a 20-year-old or 21-year-old female for $200. The probability the female survives, let me scoot over, survives the year is 0.999527. Then it says, compute and interpret the expected value of the policy to the insurance company. Okay, so with problems like this, you always want to think about, x p of x, and in this case it's going to be profit that you would get off of that, or that you would get from that 21-year-old female, versus the probability that she survives the year. So, okay. Let's say we're taking this $200 from her. All right, so we're going to get $200 profit as long as she survives the year. And that probability is given. It's kind of a grim thought, but 0.99527. Okay, so the probability she survives the year is high, and that would be the profit. But the thing is, if she does not survive the year, and that probability, by the way, would be 1 minus the 0.999527. We as a company would be out a lot of money. And out how much? Well, you say, well, we'd be out 150 grand. Well, not quite, because we took in $200 from her. But we'd be out how much? Well, I'll let you figure that out. Whatever 150,000 minus 200 is. Okay, so I'm sure you've done the number crunching now. So here's our distribution. So we will either gain $200 off of her if she survives the year, or we'd be out this much money if she does not survive the year. So you're expecting, they call that expected value because you're expecting a profit, but you ever so have to, you always have to factor in that slight probability that you may take a hit. The negative indicates that you may be out some money as a company. So we compute the expected value. Now I will remind you that if you were going to do this by hand, mu is the expected value, which is summation x p of x. And we talked about that formula a lot in class. So, if you were to do it by hand, you would take, and I'll just highlight, $200 times this decimal and get an answer. And then you would take negative 149,800 times this decimal, and you will add the two together. But now actually I'll go ahead and compute that with you. Okay, so let's take the 200 times the 0.999527. I know my writing went away, but now you know how to do it. Plus, and let's take the loss that we said, the negative 149,800 times its probability. You see, and then see I'm adding those quantities together. So my expected profit is 129.05. Okay, let's try to enter that. 129.05. All right. So now you know how to get expected value. Oh, it does say continue. Which of the following interpretation of expected value is correct? Okay, I'll read that to you. The insurance company expects to make an average profit of, well, we can kind of do process of elimination here because we know our answer. So the insurance company expects to make an average profit of 129 on every 21-year-old female it insures for the year. All right, that makes sense. Let's click that. Okay. And perhaps there's another part. You can do a similar exercise, you see, or we can save that answer. All right. Good luck.